Happy morning, darlings.
Happy
Happy
Good
morning.
morning.
Good
morning, sir.
morning.
Good
Morning.
morning.
Good
Morning.
Happy
Happy
morning.
morning.
Happy
Morning.
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 Happy
Happy
morning.
Happy
morning.
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 Sure.
Happy
Happy
morning.
morning.
Hi, happy morning.
Happy
Happy
morning.
morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning. Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning, sir.
Yes,
Happy
happy
morning.
morning.
A very happy
Morning.
morning.
Very happy.
Dance and praise.
मतलब आप कभी पहाड़ पे अगर गए हो ना, if you have gone to a hill station and then they almost all the hill stations have an echo point. अभी हमारे महाबलेश्वर में भी also we have an echo point. Standing in front of the echo point when we say like love you or morning, and when that echo comes, it's such a great feeling of achievement. Or yaar, imagine with those 2 3 echoes, if that is the feeling, what would be my feeling when I get 100 echoes back about happy morning, happy morning, happy morning, in different tonalities, in different volume, in different timbre. Feel so blessed to be with all of you over here. Now, some of you I get a chance to meet once in a way or see once in a way throughout the year. There are some of you where the meeting feels like when we go for a wedding program and then we meet some relatives, na? We meet them only during weddings. I have that feeling when I see some of you. अरे यार कितने दिन बाद मिल रहे हो? Oh God, after how much time we are meeting. The only difference is there I get to hug people, and over here I have to just send you a virtual hug and say I love you so much. And once again, thank you for being a part of this amazing, amazing, amazing movement. The ancient Egyptians had a beautiful belief about death. They would say that when a person dies and when their souls get to the entrance of heaven, the gatekeeper to the heaven would ask them 2 questions. And the answer to these 2 questions will determine whether the souls will get entry into heaven or they will be sent to hell. What were those 2 questions? Question number 1. Have you found joy in your life? Very simple question. See, for all of us, if the question was, have you found joy in your life? The answer would have been very simple. Oh yes, we have found joy in our life. Ancient Egyptians थे ना, तो उनको joy का experience नहीं था. So there the question was, have you found joy in your life? I am not wanting to start the KMM session on an ominous note, but just like that, I am asking you, have you found joy in your life? You can either give an answer in your mind, or if you want, you can use the chatbot and give your answer in the chat box. Have you found joy in your life? Kabhi, once in a way, when you're eating mango, when you're eating pani puri, somebody like me, when you're hugging people, having a kadak, adrak wali chai, or it just could be that you have found the ability to practice acceptance and therefore joy flows through you. So simple question, have you found joy in your life? Looks like most of you have found joy. मतलब हाफ तो तुम्हारा हेवन कंफर्म हो गया. सो कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस. अभी तक किसी ने ना नहीं लिखा है. दिस इज वेरी नाइस. Second question, very very simple question. Has your life brought joy to others? अब उनका आंसर भी लिख दो. Has your life brought joy for others. Well, in case any one of you has doubts, let me clarify. The fact that you are a part of KMM means that your life definitely has been a source of joy to others. And as you prepare, as you go inside the classroom, as you share your insights with people, you will not only be a source of profound joy, but you'll also be a source of profound strength for many people. So, congratulations that if you were Egyptian, your seat in heaven was guaranteed. आज ना कुछ भांगड़ा कर लेना, कुछ डांस कर लेना, कुछ गरबा कर लेना, just to celebrate the fact and to understand, boss, मेरा तो heaven में सीट पक्का है. So none of you from today has to live in this dilemma or this doubt कि मरने के बाद नरक में जगह मिलेगी कि स्वर्ग में. The bunch of people over here guaranteed swarg. Why? Because you have found joy in life and your life has brought joy to others. Today, the way training happens has changed. Today, the way parenting happens has changed. Today, the way an employer-employee relationship prospers has changed. Today, human interactions, the way we learn, the way we communicate, has changed. Today, what we expect from life has changed. For my grandfather, if he goes to do a job, he is only looking for survival. Roti, kapda aur makan. If he gets that, it is more than enough. And opportunities in life was less. Hence, any opportunity a person gets, they will hold on to it. And that is why in the olden times, loyalty used to be very high because opportunities were less. In the next generation, let's say in my father's generation, it is no more a question just of survival. It was no more a question of just roti, kapda and makan. Now it was a question of standard of life. सिर्फ खाने पीने से काम नहीं चलेगा. मुझे एक अपने लिए 2 व्हीलर लेना है, एक 4 व्हीलर लेना है, मेरे घर में एक कलर टीवी होनी चाहिए, मुझे साल में एक बार हॉलीडेज के लिए भी जाना है, मुझे होटल्स जाने. My grandfather would have never gone to a hotel because it was only survival. My father would go to a hotel once a week. In our generation, in today's time, it is no more a question of survival. It is no more a question of just standard of life. Now it has become a question of quality of life. अच्छी जिंदगी चाहिए, स्ट्रेस कम होना चाहिए, मीनिंगफुल होना चाहिए. The world is evolving. And in this changing world, the relationship between a student and a teacher has also profoundly changed. The playing field has changed. We are no more sitting in a room and speaking as an authority. Because Google, AI, has become the authority. So today we don't live in a world where authority sits with the person in front of you. Today we live in a world where if you find any high-performing team, like a business, like sports, expertise is getting decentralized. Each person brings a very unique perspective. The role of a leader or a coach or a mentor or a teacher isn't to impose a singular truth. It is to harness the collective intelligence that sits within the group. And through this harnessing, help each individual within that group to find their own best path. I mentor many organizations. I am blessed that I get to mentor many individuals. And I'm seeing this shift happening profoundly, powerfully, without any question whatsoever. What does this situation means? It means if I have the ability to harness talent or intelligence inside a room, I will have huge leverage. Let's say I go to Ajit Nayar's factory, and in that factory we are discussing strategy. Even 5 years ago, if I am helping them strategize, I would speak about this has to be done, this has to be thought, these kind of people have to be employed, this is the planning which is required. And Ajit would take notes and attempt to execute that. Today it doesn't happen that way. Today we begin with a question. We understand if he has a partner, Mr. Thakur, he has 40 years of experience. Ajit himself brings to the table 20-25 years of experience. His brother brings in a different kind of an experience. Today the job becomes to harness the present intelligence and then build something on it which can be leveraged. The most important word over here is leverage. What does leverage mean? In the sense of KMM, what does leverage mean? Leverage means anything that creates a disproportionate impact. Now, all of you would have, in physics in your school, read about leverage. It's derived from the engineering word called lever. The work of the lever is to ensure effort is less and impact is more. Leverage helps in creating a magnifying effect. In engineering, lever works on the principle of fulcrum. In finance, leverage works on the principle of fixed costs. In life transformation, leverage works on the principle of mentors. When I have a mentor in my life, the results I produce is disproportionate. When I don't have a mentor in life, the result I produce will always be less than what is possible. In Keep Moving Movement, the effort is go to the classrooms, speak to the children, listen to them, interact with them, bring their perspectives into the room, give them clarity, somewhere give them self-belief. And through a 40-minute session, give them insights and give them power. Give them this conviction there is somebody in the world who believes in me. And through these things, help them with certain levers through which they will create a disproportionate impact in their life. So the work that we do is not ordinary. The effort you put is not towards an ordinary goal, but it's towards a very beautiful, huge, desirable goal. And that is to help India to take its destiny on top of the world. So thank you so much for joining this amazing initiative. Thank you so much for taking time out on a Sunday morning, where most people might say that संडे मॉर्निंग है थोड़ा सोने दो क्योंकि बाकी के दिन में अच्छे से सोने को नहीं मिलता है. And thank you so much for agreeing to see yourself as a powerful force of leverage in the lives of students. When you want to get leverage, or when you want to help somebody get amazing leverage, what is that one compulsory, necessary factor? It is to understand that I have great power in my mind. I have amazing power in my mind. I am probably not leveraging the power of my own mind. Let me give you a very small situation. You bought a brand new car. You took the car out and the car got a scratch. Now, am I leveraging the power of mind in a beautiful way, or will I be leveraging the power of mind in an ugly way? Mind is powerful. Ugly way would mean frustration, anger, fight, regret. And a beautiful way would be, it's an experience to remind me what is important to me. The fact is, I could have had a very bad accident, but thanks God, I escaped with just a scratch. Now, the mind can give you both of these dimensions. Why I'm sharing this with you is, when I interact with people, people say, "Yaar, bahut gussa aata hai, kya karu?" I'm not able to keep control. What should I do? I'm not able to let go. What should I do? I'm not able to think positive. I get so many thoughts of fear. What should I do? Okay, let me do a very, very small thought experiment with all of you. Can you, for me, imagine a pink elephant? Just imagine. Just imagine an elephant which is pink in color. Who I imagine? Did any one of you say that वो pink elephant दिख ही नहीं रहा है? Impossible. Possible, right? So your mind can visualize whatever you want it to visualize. You wanted to visualize a pink elephant, and you could. If you want your mind to visualize something, you can. And that is where everything begins. That is what dreams are all about. That is what ambition is all about. That is what courage is all about. That is what focus is all about. That is what priorities are all about. That is what believing in oneself is all about. There is a hidden mechanism inside us which is called the mind, which creates unhappiness, or which says, I have tremendous difficulty in changing my habits, or because of ego it creates relationship problems, or I'm not able to handle expectations and therefore frustration, anger and disappointment. Barely anybody understands the power of this mechanism which is your mind, even though it is happening all the time. And one of the best things about the power of the mind is to tell stories to ourselves. My future is going to be brilliant. If I want, I can come first in class. I can let go of all the memories that have pain, and I can retain all the memories which have pleasure. I know my beginning was not great, but my future is just mind-blowing. If I want to run a marathon, I can. If I want to climb Mount Everest, I can. If I want to have 1 crore in my bank account, I can. ये जो images हम देखते हैं ना, all these pictures that we see inside our head are the stories that we tell ourselves. Your mind is powerful enough to create any story that you want to create out of your life. Any story that you want to create out of your life. Imagine we convince 15,000 children that your mind can imagine any story that you want, and you are smart enough in today's generation to make those stories into a reality. Begin with telling very, very powerful stories to yourself. This is session number 1 of KMM this year. The stories that we tell ourselves. If the story I tell myself is nobody loves me, my entire mind will only search for reasons to prove, yes, nobody loves me. And if the story I tell myself is, I have abundance of love, the mind will search for proof that, see, you have actually abundance of love. Your entire life is nothing but the stories we tell ourselves. कुछ भी स्टोरी सोच सकते हैं और फिर उसके ऊपर अमल कर सकते हैं. Oh, we just did an experiment and you could think of the pink elephant. Which means if you want to see a story, you can. And once you have seen your story, then all you need to do is put efforts to make that into a reality. So while I have laid out the opening for today's session, we always need somebody who can take it ahead in an exceptional way and help you deliver this session inside the classroom in a very powerful way. We need somebody who understands the students of today's world. We need somebody who believes in the power of the youth. We need somebody whose heart is pure. Arjun one day was pestering Krishna and telling Krishna, why do you believe Karna is a bigger donor than I am? I have donated so much. I am a bigger donor than Karna. You are partial towards Karna. Why do you see that Karna is a bigger donor than me? Krishna being Krishna, he would hardly give a direct answer. He smiled and said, okay. Went out, created 2 mountains of gold, pure gold. Krishna looks at Arjuna and says, distribute these 2 gold mountains among the villagers, but you must distribute every bit of it. Don't even keep 1 gram. You said you are a donor, right? So I have given you 2 mountains of gold. Now go and distribute. Arjuna took this job very seriously because he has to prove that he is a bigger donor. He went to the village, told everybody that I am going to donate gold to every villager, asked them to gather near the mountain, told them that come to me and prove to me how good you are. Based on how good you are, I will give you gold. The village was super happy. The villagers started singing his praises, and Arjun walked towards the mountain with an absolutely puffed up chest because he's going to give them all wealth. Matlab, extraordinary thing. For 2 days and nights, Arjun kept shoveling the gold from the mountain and giving to the villagers depending on what Arjun thought is the right quantity for them. 2 दिन तक बेचारे ने non-stop किया. The mountain did not diminish in size even by 1%. And Arjun, Krishna told him, Pura donate karna hai. After 2 days, he got so tired. He was thinking about what has Krishna put me into. He also saw that the villagers who have been given the gold went and kept that gold somewhere and they came back and stand in the queue again. And that made him very angry. With anger and exhaustion, Arjun now goes to Krishna and says, I can't do this work. This mountain is not coming down in size. People are ungrateful. They're coming and standing in the line again. This is not for me. Krishna called Karn and told him to donate every bit of the two mountains. Karna called two villagers and told them, "These two gold mountains are yours." And he walked away. Arjun sat dumbfounded. यार ये thought मुझे क्यों नहीं आया? Krishna smiled mischievously and told him, Arjun, subconsciously you were attracted to the gold. Subconsciously your heart did not want to give so much. When the heart does not want to give so much, that's why the mind said, give only that much which somebody deserves. Which means you also became very judgmental. You regretfully gave gold away because in a mind it was, कैसे तो भी खत्म करना है. The size of your donation depended on your judgment of those people. As a result of which, the mountain of gold did not come down. And what did Karna do? Karna holds no such reservations. Just look at him. Walking away after giving away a fortune. He does not even expect people to sing his praises. He has no need for validation. He has no need where people will see him as a champion. He doesn't care if people talk good about him or bad about him behind his back. For him, giving is effortless. And that is why Karna is a bigger donor than you, my dear Arjun. Lakshmi, I really love the way you said that when something doesn't go right, I stop, I think, and it reminds me of the traffic signal.
Thank
Stop,
you.
think, and then proceed. वो proceed वाला ना सबसे important है. So there may be some who stop and freeze. There are some who stop and think, which means over-analysis. But the life belongs to those people, and the right stories are stories which says stop, think, and then proceed ahead. I was listening to a few of you speaking about your age. I remember my brother-in-law, Deepak, in a speech, he said this very beautifully. He said, it is not age, but courage which matters. So as long as courage is there, the calendar age does not really make a difference. I recollect Nutan sharing about being late in places. And I remember distinctly when I was about 25 years old, listening to a speaker called Aparesh saying, there will be a time when you will not be alive, and at that time you will be called as late Narendra Goidani. So the tragedy is not when you die and you are called late Narendra Goidani. Tragedy is when you are alive and people call you late Narendra Goidani. So as long as we are alive, let nobody look at me and say, यार ये तो late है यार, late. मतलब मरने के बाद लोग late बोले ना, चलेगा. जिंदा जिंदा कोई अपने को नहीं बोलना चाहिए कि वो late हो गया. So when I heard this for the first time, I said, Baba, आज के बाद में तो I would prefer to be called late only when I have actually become late, which means Jai Ho. तब तक तो I want to be before time. And that is a beautiful philosophy. Before time is on time is late. So which means if the session has to start at 7, I would prefer to be in front of my camera at 6:45 and not take a chance to come on 6:59 or 7 or 7:01. Today it was also amazing to see so many couples together. I never realized it this way, that KMM brings couples together close to each other. So it's beautiful to see some of you present together like Prithvi and Aparna, Prerna and Krishant. There's also a father-daughter jodi. And it was amazing to see the Bhinder family, four of them. So, better if there is an award for the most special camera, I think it should go to the Bhinder family, where four lovely, amazing human beings are together on the screen. I love to meditate. And I remember in one of the recent batches that we do, so we have a keep moving, we have Let's Explore training program. In the training program, somebody asked me this question. All the teachers say that spiritual treasure is something that one finds alone. The path of spirituality, when we move inside, it's a path that all of us find alone. So why are we all together in pursuit of spirituality? And this is when we were discussing and experiencing meditation. And I remember the answer that emerged was, we are here together because a forest is always stronger than a lonely tree. The forest maintains the humidity in the air, resists the hurricane, and helps to make the soil fertile. However, a tree cannot exist just because of the forest. The tree requires a strong root. Because the root of one plant cannot help another plant to grow. At an individual level, I need to create my roots. And from the point of impact, greater impact, power, it is the forest together which is much, much stronger than the lonely tree. As we walk together in KMM, every now and then I realize there is power in one person, because you as an individual will go inside the classroom, you will share your thoughts, and you will have anywhere between 15 children to 55 children inside your classroom. If you ever have this doubt that maybe out of, let's say, 35 children in your classroom, only 12 have come up one day, the teacher did not inform the others and they had another assignment, or somebody's gone out to play, or somebody's participating in some school activity, and you've prepared keeping 35 in mind, and when you see the class you find only 12 people, and chances are the heart is a little disappointed because of some negative stories that we tell ourselves. And those are the times when you remember that one person can make a lot of difference. Our roots have to be strong. And that ultimate example which always helps me is, if Krishna had thought that I have only one student, Bhagavad Gita wouldn't have come into being. In my classroom, if there are even 12 children, Krishna had one student. I have 12 times more than Krishna, which means the opportunity to make an impact is still existing, even if there are 12 children inside my classroom. To grow strong roots for you and me is about the stories we tell ourselves. It will be brilliant if you become alert to the stories you tell yourself from now till you deliver the class. You will be stunned, even if you are one of the most positive people that you know in your life. You will be stunned to see the quantity of negative stories we tell ourselves. When we discuss this phrase about the stories we tell ourselves defines our life, I have experienced with my most positive friends this alarming look at, they say, I never thought I also have such a negative quantum of thoughts. And the awareness that the power of stories actually creates our life made the positive people super positive, super happy, super impactful. My expectation is this session at a very personal level will transform your life. And when you go inside the classroom, you go inside the classroom with a sense of authority. Now, those of you who have been a part of KMM for a little while, or you have been a teacher for a little while, we are too used to lectures and long sessions and speaking for a longer time. Let's go through the shift this year. If it is uncomfortable, be alert to the stories you're telling yourself. Resist from the temptation of speaking a lot and develop this ability to engage people a lot. For today's generation, it is engagement which counts. For today's generation, it is the need to be heard which counts. So let's say if Mohan is there and he's a great speaker, great experiences in life, and if he wants to go inside the classroom and talk for a longer time, and he has the authority because he has so many personal stories in his life, the impact in the class will be less. Because the attention span of children now is not 40 minutes. Now Mohan will also transform himself and say, I'm not going to speak for less than 5 or 6 minutes ever. And after that, I'm going to ask them a question, get them engaged, listen to their thoughts. I'm going to nurture the entire classroom into collective thinking and collective wisdom. And if you think they are difficult, all he needs to do is become aware. What is the story I'm telling myself? So practice telling powerful stories to your life and looking forward to listening to brilliant stories about what is the impact you created in your class and what this session has created an impact in your life. Once again, thanks a lot to Betu for taking a brilliant session. Thanks a lot for all of you to be a part of KMM. I feel blessed to have you in life. Thank you so much. Love you all and have a great time.